All right, hit another jackpot. Got me a motor for the good old boat. It's an Inboard. Came out of a Volvo. I'm not sure what brand boat it came out of, but it is a Volvo motor and outdrive. It's got everything. It's got the trim motor. It's electric. It's not hydraulic. That's pretty neat. So got the distributor. It's got the starter. Probably needs to be a rebuild, more than likely. The alternator definitely needs a rebuild. This can probably go. It looks pretty clean on the camshaft. However, I am a little worried about that. There is water in here. Motor is locked up, but I'm hoping to get it freed. Still got these new plugs and wires, but overall it's complete. It's an inline 4, built in 1969. It's a Volvo B20. I think the spec on this is 100 horsepower, so it's definitely better than what I got, which is I have a 75 horsepower currently, and it's a 2-stroke. This is a 4-stroke, so that right there is an upgrade in itself. Just a few minor upgrades to this thing, but my main focus right now is just to get this thing cleaned up. Carburetors look decent. This one's still wet. Leave that like it is. Oil filter, I can't get that off, it's rusted. Hopefully won't come off without any too much trouble. Oil sender, I believe. Alternator wiring still hooked up. So mainly just getting this thing polished up and getting the motor freed up. See if I get this thing running. You guys like my new workshop? It's paradise. Alright, drain the oil in the Volvo. Quote unquote oil. Yeah, that ain't oil. That's water. That's some fresh shit too. God damn it. Oh, there it is. That is disgusting. Ugh. It's like it's pooping. Chocolate milk, anyone? Oof. Yeah. It's not looking very promising. But yet again, that's how the Datsun looked. So, just gonna let that drain for a bit. Pull the spark plugs, put some Marvel Mystery in it. Things should free up. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, pull the plugs out. Not in the best shape. This is the worst one. All right, filled all the cylinders all the way to the top. They're all about the same level, so I filled them up evenly. I don't know about piston number 3. I think there's still water in there, but I'll come back later on and check on it. I can pop this valve cover off. Camshaft looks good. Nice and wet. But let's get a couple oil changes. Hopefully we can get this thing freed up. So, all right. That's about it for now. I do have some distributor parts coming in. I got a new cap and rotor, new plugs, new points, and new condenser. I also got a coil. I would take this off, but since it's still sitting outside, I don't want to leave the camshaft exposed. So I'm just gonna leave it here for now. And then I need to get a new bellow for the exhaust, but that's for a later date. You take the starter off, get that fixed. I'll probably do that while I'm here. So it's coming along slowly but surely. Ooh. Is that water? Yeah. That one's building up compression. All right, I think we're good.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. This thing will definitely start now. All right, motor's at the house. It's a fairly easy task. Gotta get her cleaned up. She's looking a little filthy. Don't worry, got the pressure washer ready. Let's see how this goes. All right, got the motor off the trailer. Wasn't easy. Got one side clean at least. I'm trying to get this motor ready. It's about to come off. Just gotta pull the rest of these bolts out. Got them all loose. Other side's loose as well. I gotta loosen that side down there a little more. I'm just gonna inch this thing out little by little. So, wish me luck. All right, motor is out. All right, let's carry on. All right, fellas, new motor. It's almost ready to put in. Transom, it's been gutted. I'm hoping I can use this cross member piece, repurpose these existing holes that originally bolted to the transom. So I'm gonna get the motor in place and then make my front mounts. Then I have to figure something out for the back. The first thing is first, gotta figure out how to weasel this thing in there. So it'll be interesting. Making progress. All right, fellas, here it is the next day. Motor is somewhat in place. Got the mounts installed. Got this side. Shit. I got this side on completely. This side's almost there. Having a hard time. Threads are rusted. So I'm gonna pull these bolts out and fix the threads. That bolt sheared off, which kind of sucks. Hopefully I can get that extracted out of there. And then I'm gonna try and figure out a supporting mechanism for the back. I got some 2x2 square tubing coming, and I'm gonna have it sit here and come down underneath the stern drive, and it's gonna come up here and in there. As far as the top goes, I'm just gonna use some angle iron and then get another piece, bend it up, bring it down here along this where these bolt holes are at. It's gonna go up like a V. So I think it's gonna hold up pretty good. So yep, still lots to do. So let's get to it. All right, guys, boat is sitting on its own weight. Kind of eerie. Pretty solid though. I'm not done yet. Still gotta make and get some flat stock. Goes around this housing here, and then I'm gonna get some 2x2. It's gonna come out and down and underneath that. I'm gonna weld the flat stock to the 2x2, and that should cradle it really nicely. So, but right now it's just dangling, but it's hanging in there. So it's kind of exciting. Can't wait to get this thing on the water. But as you can see, I'm losing daylight fast. So not gonna be out here too much longer. Just do a couple more things and then call it a night. And we'll resume this tomorrow. All right, huge step forward. Got the brackets all framed up, welded up underneath. Looking good. Some sanding. So next step is a diamond plate, but it's coming along really well. I need to bolt it to the floor right here. I'll probably do that last, but It's looking really good. Excited. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, about to put the oil pan in. Got the gas going. Got it painted, ready to go. Just checking everything up here. Everything looks pretty good. Looks rebuilt, honestly. Hope the oil pump's still good. Try to clean out that mesh screen as best I could. So, just a couple more oil changes, and it should be fine. So, at least most of the water's out of it. So I get this hoisted up in there, and got my bolts ready. So, put those in. So almost done. I'm excited. I decided to go and put some RTV on all four corners, especially up here where the timing cover meets the block. I'm not sure how important that is on these motors, but I figured why not go the extra mile. And go ahead, get your gasket somewhat lined up. See how great my engineering skills is as far as clearance. All right, goes right in there. All right, sweet. All right, here it is. A little while later, I'd say a couple months, few months. I started this in October. Here it is, late March. So, kind of put the project on hold, but now it's starting to warm up. Need to get this thing ready. One thing I like to focus on first is the shift cable and the steering shaft. And as far as this goes, I hope I have the right size pipe for that. It told me it was a 7/8, so I ordered a 7/8 threaded metal pipe. So hopefully that'll work. This is my new gear selector. Looks kind of odd. That's because it came out of a '88 Suzuki Samurai. It's originally a transfer case shifter, and I figured works perfect with what I got going on. Have it mounted right here. I've already had it hooked up. I had to take it off, make some adjustments. But yeah, I'm gonna run my shifter and my throttle separately. I'm actually gonna have a gas pedal for this. It's gonna be kind of neat, I think. So I'm gonna get this bolted back up. I might have to drill this hole out a little bit more so it can go through here, because I don't want too much play. I'm trying to engineer this as best as possible. All right, guys, so having a slight fitment issue. So here's a shift cable. It attaches to this lever. That's what engages forward and backwards. And typically, it was originally on the outside, but the new setup I got, this plastic piece is too thick. And as you can see, it doesn't really line up that straight, and is actually giving a little too much tension. So when I tighten the bolt down, it binds up and it doesn't want to shift. So right here is at rest, fits almost perfect this way. But if you come over here, the hole doesn't line up and it's hitting the top of that bracket. It's actually starting to rub the plastic a little bit. I was gonna shave the plastic down, but this plastic piece is not very thick. So I almost rather trim the metal, because metal's a stronger material anyway, and I got more meat. So I'm just gonna trim this part down a little bit, hopefully just enough to where it'll clear this plastic piece. Then hopefully that should get us rolling. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that real quick. Then we'll see how that works. Got it notched out. Everything seems to clear. Bolt clears, goes in all three gears. So that's, I believe, forward. All right. Spins the other way. Sure, I'll take it. All right, over here on the shifter side, got everything installed again. I had to make my own bracket to hold this piece in place. Just that little clamp right there wasn't cutting it. And it's not really a clamp, it's just a wire tie down. It's not made to hold something this sturdy, so I decided to make a bracket out of a piece of flat stock. Got 2 1/4-inch bolts. Got some acorn nuts on the back side. 1.5 inches, I think, something like that. Yeah, it's 1.5 inches. So stainless steel, so they don't rust. So now it's all buttoned up. I had to make some adjustments to the shifter so the thumb catch would work. So it's locked in place. So it's forward, neutral, I think, and then reverse all the way at the bottom. So yeah, it seems like it's working. I can feel the out drive clicking. So we can go down there and check real quick. Okay, so that's reverse. It's not going in forward all the way. I think it's something in here. I have to take it apart and check. All right, guys, so I found the problem. So this is topped out, right? Got the indicator mark right there. It's locked in place all the way in forward. Come over here to the out drive. See that little slot? The hole doesn't quite line up. Before it was just literally like 1/8 of an inch off. And that was just enough to not engage it. Maybe push it all the way up till it clicks. It's locked now, so easy fix. All I gotta do is take this, turn it in, just make a few adjustments. I might have to adjust the one over at the shifter as well. So I'll do that real quick, and then we'll hopefully that will fix our problem. All right, however many times a charm. It's in forward. Seems promising. All right, that did it. I actually adjusted the one at the shifter. I didn't have to touch this one. And also, I could have adjusted this, but it's fine. I'll know that for next time. So I can go ahead and put all this back together, and we can go ahead and move on to the steering. So that's gonna be interesting, getting that mounted up. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, so here's a kit I got off of Amazon. For those of you that are interested, I'll leave a link down in the description below. So basically all this piece is a steering connector rod. I don't know the exact name of it, but that's basically its purpose. And as you can see, it came with a little shim. I already hammered it in there. It took a little bit of effort, but it fit perfectly. So basically, it goes on like so, and this piece connects to the top here. I've already dry fit everything. Everything seems to fit perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and get that installed. And then after that, we can figure out where we can weld this to. All right, shitload of welding later. So that's the bracket I got hooked up. I got the linkage rod connected, everything's snug down. Come over here. Turn the wheel. The whole thing turns. I like it. Steers a little hard. I don't know if this was a hydraulic system before. I think it was. But also maybe the shaft is still expanded from the heat of welding. So hopefully once it cools down, kind of ease up a bit. Plus I need to throw a little bit of grease on there. That should help. But yeah, pretty productive day. Got everything done. I might even put this on before I go. But the sun's going down. Thank God for spring forward. Still bright out. So I need to get cleaned up here. And maybe put this on. Then we'll come back another day and resume. And for those of you that are curious, this is a 7/8 threaded pipe. I had to cut the first couple threads off because it tapers at the end and it was too small for this shaft to fit through. So I cut that off and I got it tight and it fits perfect. Does exactly what I need it to do. So not a whole lot of, very little wiggle room, which is required. But yeah, works perfect. Only time will tell.